is up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I am Mr. Make Life Happen, and I hope you guys are having a super blessed day because life is so good. So today I want to talk about trust imagination. Trust imagination. Imagination creates all reality, and you can prove it because your imagination is always going to fulfill itself. You're going to see the evidence that what you imagine became a reality. You're going to see that connection between your mind and the physical world. So with that being said, some of you are still not imagining the things that you do want. You're still paying attention to the things that you don't want. Now, you can't expect changes in your life if you haven't changed the way that you see yourself. For some of us, we're not conditioned to think that we can have those better things, but that's okay. Now you have a choice and you know how to get those better things, but it's completely up to you to believe that your imagination creates reality. It is completely up to you. Once you start to deliberately imagine and purposely imagine things that you do want, and then you see them manifest in your outer world, you have found the truth that sets you free. This is the truth that's going to set you free. So all things exist in your imagination. The world that we live in is just a shadow of your mind. It is reflecting everything back to you that you are imagining. Now, I know it seems like everything's created from the outside, but it is all created from within. It is all created from your mind, and it's all created from your imagination. Nothing is created from the outside. It all starts from within. Your imagination is the gift from the universe. So whenever you use this gift, you are worshiping God. You're worshiping the Creator. So God became us so that we may become Him. And the eternal God is your human imagination. So God exists in us and we exist in Him. Your human imagination, that's the God of the universe. Your human imagination is the God of the universe. Now, is this really true? Well, you're called to test it to see if it's true. This is the only way you're going to find out if it's true. You're called to test it and then see if this is true. So you can imagine and construct a scene that implies that you have what you desire and then you persist in that assumption. So you can have anything that you want, but you have to persist in that assumption. You have to keep that same energy. So let's just say you want a house. And you construct a scene that implies that you have the house. So now you're imagining yourself in the house. It feels good to imagine yourself being able to see yourself in this house. The next day, you kind of start to have some doubts and they start to settle in. And then you start to imagine all the reasons why you can't have it. Well, the next week comes along and you find out that somebody else bought the house. Somebody with more money bought that house. Well, what happened was your doubts, they materialized into a person. Now, you didn't have to know that person. That person didn't have to know you. They are just reflecting your doubts. Remember, the outer world is a shadow of everything that goes on in your mind. So that person materialized, your doubt materialized into a person, and then they bought the house before you did. So you have to remember that everything and everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is you externalized. So if you want to imagine something that you desire, do not imagine the things or the reasons why it can't happen. Don't imagine all the reasons why it could go wrong, because you're going to meet people in your outer world that are going to show you all the reasons why it can go wrong. So instead, imagine yourself being in the home, in the lovely home that you want to be, with amazing neighbors, nice neighborhood, whatever you specifically desire, and then you persist in that assumption. No matter if the evidence denies that you can't have it, you persist in that assumption and you do not imagine the things that you do not want. You imagine the things that you do want and then you persist in that assumption. What you want to do is you want to persist in that assumption that the house is yours. So you constructed a scene that implies that you have this lovely home, and now you're going to persist in it. You want to say, I am so thankful for my lovely home. I am so grateful for this amazing house. Even if you don't feel nothing right away, even if your mood hasn't changed, you want to continue to say your affirmations. You want to change those mental diets, those words that you say in your mind. You have to convince and persuade yourself that this house is yours. Once you persist in that assumption and you continue in that assumption, and then you hold the mental state that the house is yours, it'll be yours. Like I said, it can happen within 24 hours. You can get that phone call or you can get that text message. Other people have these things, why not you? The only thing that's stopping you is yourself. So create a scene that implies that you have this house. And then you persist in that assumption. You walk with your head up. It doesn't matter what the senses deny. It doesn't matter what this outer world out here tells you. You can have anything that you want. Nothing is going to stop you if you just trust your imagination. That's all you have to do, trust your imagination. Jesus Christ is buried inside of you. He's buried in every man. So Jesus Christ is the power and the wisdom of God. And you're using this power every single day to create things in your life, whether those are good things or whether they're bad things. So if you look in the book of Deuteronomy 32 and 39, it says, now see that I, even I am he, and there is no God beside me. It says, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. So the only power of the universe is your imagination, and your imagination is the only God. We are told that we can't enter the kingdom of heaven until we are born again. So whenever you start to trust your imagination and you believe that it's going to fulfill itself, then you're on the verge of being reborn again. You're close to having that rebirth. So the kingdom of heaven is within you, but you can't enter until you turn from this fleshly world, from this physical world, and then you turn and you go inside, and then you discover that your imagination is the only reality. This is when you're going to be born again, when you discover that your imagination is the only reality, and this is when you're going to have your rebirth. So your moods are going to determine your fortunes, or your moods can determine your misfortunes. So what you want to do is you want to feel and catch the mood of your wish fulfilled. So if you want a house, ask yourself, how would I feel now that I have the house? Ask yourself, how would I really feel now that I have this new lovely home with amazing neighbors? Now your senses and your outer world may deny. Now your desires may not align with your current situation, but that's okay. Ignore those senses, and then you walk and persist in an assumption that the house is yours. Now, in a way that you do not know, in a way that I do not know, and it doesn't even matter how it's going to come to you, you're going to manifest that house, and it will be yours. But you must persist in that assumption that the house is yours, because your imagination creates reality, and it's always going to fulfill itself. So if you look in the book of Matthew, it says, with God, all things are possible. Now, if you look in the book of Mark, it says, all things are possible to him who believes. So God is equated to the believer, and the believer is your imagination. So the dreamer is your human imagination. Now ask yourself, are you going to believe and imagine good things in your life, or are you going to let those doubts, those negative conversations, those negative people, your negative self, are you going to allow that to determine your life? Are you going to trust your imagination and believe that it's always going to fulfill itself? It is completely up to you. So causation is all imagination. Imagination creates all reality. You're going to embody everything that you imagine, everything that you feed your mind. So God is going to express everything that you imagine. So you want to go on a mental diet. You want to go on a mental diet. You want to feed your mind with the things that you do want. You want to persist in that assumption. You want to keep walking in that assumption. Whenever your mood changes and you're not thinking about what you desire, you want to mentally repeat what you do desire. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I'm so grateful for my new home. Whenever you notice your mood starts to change, you want to catch it right away, and then you repeat your affirmations over and over and over and over and over until your mood changes and you feel like you do have that new house. You do feel like you're healthy, and you want to continue to do this over and over and over and over. It's going to take some practice. But with practice, you're going to make permanent. And when you have a permanent state of mind, it's going to be easier for you to catch your mind slipping. You're going to be able to catch yourself and say, I'm not thinking positive. So catch yourself and start to say it again. I am so grateful. I am so happy for my new home. I am so grateful for my health. I'm so helpful. I'm so thankful for love. I'm so grateful that I can help people. I can help others. I'm so helpful for whatever it is you desire. And you do this over and over and watch how quickly your life begins to change. Change your mental diets. All the things that you say to yourself, all of those mental conversations, all of those negative things that you're saying about yourself, even about other people. And then you want to go and change the script and say, I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am loved. I am successful. I am free. I am peace. All of those things, whatever it is that you desire. Stop talking bad about yourself. So you want to construct a scene that implies that you have what you already desire. So if you want a home, construct a scene that implies that you already have the house. So if you just bought a house, what would you be doing and how would you feel? So hold that thought in your mind and persist in that assumption. That's all you have to do. If you get doubtful and people are reminding you, well, you can't have this or you can't have that, then you go back in your mind and you imagine again yourself being in that house, yourself having that health, yourself having your friends, a lovely family, whatever it is you desire, a business, travels, freedom, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are, your nationality, where you came from, who your family is. It doesn't matter. None of those things matter. You construct a scene that implies that you have what you desire and you're going to manifest it. You just persist in it. You believe in yourself and then you trust your imagination. That's all you have to do. All things are possible to him that believes, and all things are possible to God. Well, God is your own wonderful human imagination. So you create a scene that implies what you do have, and then you trust your imagination. And that's it. And then you let the games begin. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next video. Catch the mood. Catch the mood. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Go out there and use your gifts and make life happen. Peace.